Hi everyone, today I'm going to introduce the logic switch function of AT10II and AT9S Pro and take AT10II as an example. A long press mode button to enter basic menu. Logic switch. A logic switch is to combine two switches to control one function or one channel. At most, 3 logic switches can be set, and take logic switch 1 as example. SW means switch. We can set throttle stick, switch A, switch B to switch H to work together. Position is the position of the switch. And I want to combine switch A and switch D to work together to show the logic switch function. So I set switch A and switch D for the 2 switches. And for position, I can set down for both switch A and switch D. And here are the 2 modes for the logic switch, including AND and OR. When the mode is set to AND, the logic switch is enabled only when both 2 switches are in the set position. When the mode is set to OR, the logic switch is enabled as long as any one of the 2 switches is in the set position. And that is to say, if I set the AND mode, the logic switch is turned on when both switch A and the switch D are pushed down. As switch A and switch D are pushed down now, so the logic switch is turned on here. And if any one of the switch is pushed up, the logic switch is turned off. For example, push switch D up, the logic switch is turned off. And if I push switch A up, the logic switch is off too. And if I set OR mode, the logic switch is turned on when switch A or switch D is pushed down. And switch A and switch D are pushed down now. So the logic switch is turned on. And switch A is pushed up. Switch D is pushed down. The logic switch is still turned on. And when both of them are pushed up, the logic switch is turned off. And by the way, for the first switch, you can also set throttle stick, ST/TH key, and you can push throttle stick to the position you want. And then press push button. There will be % value, which indicates the current position of the throttle stick. You can see a downward arrow here, and which means when the throttle travel amount is below 54%, the stick takes effect and turn the dial. The downward arrow will change into upward arrow, which means when the throttle travel amount is above 54%, the stick takes effect. And we'll set the mode to OR. That is to say, when switch D is pushed down or when the throttle stick is above 54% and the logic switch is turned on. And if I push throttle stick below 54%, and the logic switch is turned off. Now I'll assign logic switch 1 to control function to show it. And for example, I use the timer function to show it. And I set the logic switch 1 to turn on the timer 1. And I need to set norm for the logic switch to control the timer 1. Now and ref mean the logic switch doesn't take effect. And I set norm. Here, enter the home page. For the logic switch 1, if I push the throttle stick above 54%, and the logic switch will take effect. You can see the timer is counting now. If I push the throttle stick below 54%, and the timer stops. So that's all about how to set the logic switch and use the logic switch to control one function.